I have some amazing clips to show you of actor and talented individual Robert De Niro tearing into Donald Trump in this new interview he did on MSNBC. Now, previously, Robert De Niro has been very critical of Donald Trump, which has caused some beef between them. De Niro going at Trump and Trump going at De Niro. But every single time, Trump loses because all of his attacks are so generic and childish, whereas Robert De Niro is someone who actually thinks. You know, he's intelligent. He actually reads. He knows what he's talking about. So I'm going to show you a couple of clips from this interview that De Niro did, starting with him being asked if Donald Trump is a threat to our democracy, specifically referencing the 2024 presidential election.
Do you think our democracy is at risk in this election?
I think that it is. I always keep saying democracy is great, of course, but democracy people take for granted. It's a word that some people don't even understand. They take it for granted. It's about right and wrong, period. The guy's a monster. It's beyond wrong. It's almost like he wants to do the most horrible things that he can think of in order to get a rise out of us. I don't know what it is, but he's been doing it, and it's scary.
Are you
Excuse my French.
Yeah, I love that answer. Really, really well said, as he is typically when talking about these topics. You know, democracy is something that a lot of people take for granted. You know, they see it as just a word. It's so much more than a word. It's like the foundation of the United States. It gives us this unique right, which is very unique in the world. A lot of countries don't have this right to pick our leaders, pick our representatives, pick our president. And some people take that for granted. That, Donald Trump tried to overturn an election. Yeah, he incited an insurrection. Yes, he's saying that he won't commit to accepting the results again in 2024. But that's just Donald Trump. Like, no. Our democracy is sacred and it should be protected and actually cared about. It's not something to push under the rug and then just see what happens. But the main point that I love that he made here is that it is a choice between right and wrong. And that's what's beautiful about the 2024 presidential election, is that the choice is so easy. It is so easy. It is the easiest choice that Americans will have to make in modern American history. You have Joe Biden, a good, decent man, a family man, someone who cares about the people around him and cares about the people he serves. He's dedicated his life to public service. He does charity work. And he, as president, has invested in infrastructure, in fighting climate change, in lowering healthcare costs, and expanding programs to combat cancer, expanding programs to help veterans with their healthcare, bringing back manufacturing. Very good things for Americans who need the help the most. Middle-class, hardworking Americans who just want to put food on their table at night, and even Americans who have served abroad or are dealing with healthcare debt. Very good stuff. And then on the other side of things, we have Donald Trump, who, as I mentioned, tried to overturn the election in 2020. He's talked about executing political opponents. He argued that he should be able to do that in front of court the other day. He's facing 88 felony charges. He was in court today on 34 of those felony charges. He's a proven sexual abuser, proven fraudster, proven idiot. Sorry, a little bit mean, but true. And even as president, he didn't do anything. No good policy. Didn't do any policy that made my life better or your life better or anybody around us. So this guy is a bad person. Donald Trump is a bad dude. And then on the other side, we have a good person with Joe Biden. That's why this choice is so easy. Stand with good people, morality, democracy, getting things done, as opposed to the evil, the insanity, the lunacy, the anti-democratic dictatorial tendencies that Donald Trump possesses and espouses so frequently. Easiest choice we'll ever have to make, lock it in. Joe Biden every day, all day. Easiest choice. So I love that answer. I love everything he said. It is a choice between right and wrong. And the second clip I want to show you is him being asked about the people out there who say, you know what, I don't like Donald Trump, but I'm still going to vote for him. And I think his answer here is also very well said. Take a look at the clip.
What do you say to those who say, I don't like the guy, but I'm going to vote for him? What's your message to them?
I don't understand it. I don't think they understand how dangerous it will be if he ever, God forbid, becomes president. I don't think they really understand. And historically, from what I see, even in Nazi Germany. They had it with Hitler. They don't take him serious. He looks like a clown, acts like a clown. Mussolini, same thing. These guys, I don't know why, they look like clowns. They somehow, people, that element of society identifies in some ways with them, but it would be chaos beyond our imagination. There's no mystery about him. He's right out front, and what he says is what it'll be if he becomes president.
Yeah, again, no mystery about him. As we were just kind of talking about, we know how bad of a person, how bad of a leader Donald Trump is. There's no secret here. There's no secret. But for some reason, there are people out there who want to ignore that secret. And there are even people out there who are not part of the MAGA cult. They're your average, everyday American. But they're like, you know what? I don't like Donald Trump, but I'm still going to vote for him anyway. And they downplay the threat. They say, yeah, you know, he says a lot of insane things. I don't agree with every policy, but I'm going to vote for him anyway. Yeah, he might be a clown, but I'm still going to vote for him. And this is a trend we've seen in history where people don't take threats seriously. And then you have very bad leaders rise to power. Hitler, Mussolini, Donald Trump. Now, they're all bad to different degrees, obviously, but the pattern is similar. And when people are not taking the threat of Donald Trump seriously, that puts us in some very, very scary places. People have to realize what we're actually dealing with here. This is not a typical presidential election. This is not between a Joe Biden figure and a Mitt Romney figure or a Liz Cheney, people who reasonably do care about the country, want to make it better, even if we fundamentally disagree on politics, right? That's not this election. That is a typical election. You saw it in 2012, 08, whatever. But this election is different, where we have someone who's saying they want to be a dictator on one side, someone who's arguing in court that they should be allowed to execute political opponents, seriously, in front of the Supreme Court. And on the other, we have someone who is a typical political opponent, someone who does care about the country, has their own policy positions, and does things in the way that they think they should be done. But it's just not the same. And people have to wake up to the threat. They have to be honest about it and stop giving Donald Trump so much credit and so much room to be a terrible person. Don't give him so much room. Hold him accountable. That's all we want. And then if we hold Donald Trump accountable, hold him to the standard that he should be as a presidential candidate, he won't become president. And people will make the right decision and vote for Joe Biden. But I love that answer. Another very, very well said answer by Robert De Niro. Anyway, look, the fact that we even have to have this conversation of whether people should vote for Biden or Trump is insane. It really is like, do we vote for good or bad? Do we vote for good or evil? Obviously, objectively, you vote for good. And that's quite literally the choices we have here in 2024. So it's crazy we even have to talk about this, that we have to be speaking today. But we got to put in the work and make sure that Joe Biden gets reelected in 2024 because it is a choice between good and evil. So I'll leave it there. Thank you so much for watching this video. I greatly appreciate you being here. Make sure to drop a subscription down below. It goes such a long way. Drop a like on the video as well. Comment, let me know what you think. And as always, I appreciate you, and I hope you have an amazing rest of your day.